So who of you have ever heard of TeamViewer? I have this habit of always asking. Okay, a couple. So as I said, I had this habit of asking because when I got asked like 10 months ago whether I want to join this company, I personally have not heard of TeamViewer, to my shame. But the reason I'm telling this story is because I went to a conference about 5 months ago, and I asked the same question. It was a conference in San Francisco, and there were all these big guys from HP, IBM, all the computer world, and I asked the same question. So who doesn't know TeamViewer? And no one raised their hand. So I was a little bit shocked. And the only person, and that's the funny part, that knew TeamViewer was the taxi driver that took me from the conference to the airport. And I asked myself, so how can that be? And actually, it's part of our story, and it's part of where we came from and what we do. Because once he found out that I'm the CEO of TeamViewer, he was completely excited. He said, oh, I love TeamViewer. It's the greatest tool I've ever used. I use it to fix my dad's PC in India remotely, because he has got no clue on how to change things on the settings. So I just remotely go into the PC and I change things. And that's been the foundation of the company, creating a software that helps people to help others solving a problem on the PC. But since then, obviously, our software has really been changed. We added a lot of new features. We are available on pretty much every operating system you can think of. We added new tools, and I wanted to give you some of what I call the craziest examples that we have on how TeamViewer gets used and why we have changed over time. One that I like a lot is we have a big medical company that is using TeamViewer to share pictures from their CRT and MRT system. So a in a surgery, a doctor can really say, okay, this is the picture, and he can consult his colleagues across the globe that are specialists on certain cases. So we are being used in this environment actually quite a lot and quite intensively. Another use case that blew me away was I got a thank you email by someone in the States, and he's an IT professional, and he uses TeamViewer to support other companies and help them with fixing their PCs. And he said, oh, I wanted to thank you because my house burned down, and in the last minute, I got onto my laptop, and I stored all the data remotely from that laptop. And by the way, you saved my life because now I can continue with my work. These are the crazy emails I'm receiving from time to time. Another example is there's an Italian artist, and the Italian artist uses TeamViewer. He has about 80 different installations across the globe, displaying different pictures, changing the pictures every 3-4 hours. And the way he does it is remotely accessing the screens and saying which picture needs to be displayed. So as you can see, we are used in quite a lot in different ways. And my opinion is I think we have as many use cases as we have active users. But why is it? It is because we are connecting really everyone and everything. It is because we have gone the route towards really being available on any device you could think of in the IT world. And that has made us a quite big company in the meantime. And what do I mean by quite big? And there is a metric I wanted to share with you, which is, in my opinion, quite amazing. On the 27th of October at 5:12 in the morning, we have gone through the 1 billion milestone, which means our software is now installed on more than 1 billion devices globally, which for me was a big thing to celebrate, and the whole team in the headquarters said, yeah, and we had a big party. But there are not many companies out there that can show these numbers globally. And that puts us into a category of software companies that is quite unique. In addition to this, we have about 200 million active users globally. And there are some other metrics of which are quite amazing if the picture changes. Thank you. At any given time, while I speak here, while you sit here, we have over 20 million devices connected at any given time, which means over 20 million, sometimes 30, sometimes 35 million devices are talking to each other, are exchanging information. We have about 20 million downloads every month. We have become a true global company. Our software is available in over 30 languages. We have over 300,000 paying customers. So we are a true leader. But where did we come from? So we got established about 10 years ago in a small city called Göppingen, close to Stuttgart, southern Germany. And we now have about 600 employees. We have a global operations. We sell into 200 different countries globally. And I heard one speaker saying that the team is very international. In the office in Göppingen, we have more than 50 nationalities, and we speak more than 40 languages. So we are a true international company. But it's not only us who says that we are a global leader. This week, we received an honor by IDC. They do a survey on remote support software, and we got recognized as the global leader ahead of many brands that you probably know better than TeamViewer. And how can it be that we are seen as a global leader, not only by ourselves and by our customers, but also by IDC? And I wanted to talk to you about the competitive advantage that got us there, because I also believe it's quite unique. One of the things that we did when we got established in 2005 was we started with a freemium model. And what does freemium mean? Freemium means for an end user that uses it for private use, it's for free. And for someone who uses it professionally, he has to pay. But like many other companies then copied what we did, but it's pretty difficult to monetize, you would think. So how can you monetize on it? One is you need to trust people that they pay. And the other thing is I do believe you need to use tools to help with the payment process. First of all, we use big data. And how do we use big data? We analyze the usage of customers. We analyze how customers how often customers are using their equipment, who they connect to, and so on, but in a very anonymous way. And then we say, okay, because of this use pattern, we identify you as a commercial customer. We give him a small hint and say, hey, do you want to pay? And after the third hint, we block him to help him with what I call the honesty. As a side effect to this, we have created I call it the unofficial global integrity map. And what does that mean? It's how many transactions do we have every month, and how many of these transactions are really paid. And I will show you this map. And as you can see, dark red means not good. Dark green means very good. And I hope I'm not embarrassing someone from South Korea, but actually in South Korea we have the worst rate, meaning we have as many, actually more downloads than in the UK, but 1/10 of the revenue stream of the UK. On the other side, we have Switzerland, where every second download is paid for. So that's a nice side effect of it. So what is the third advantage that we have? And I wanted to get back to the story that I made at the beginning, the taxi driver. We made a conscious decision not to go for the enterprise, but the conscious decision was through the freemium model to start with the free users and then go to the SMB, to the small and medium businesses. And that's what we have been extremely successful in. And I also believe that it's much, much harder to go from top down and try to have an enterprise software and bring it down to the SMB, then the other way up. And I call this the consumerization. We have done something that is, and built something that is actually very complex in nature and made it so easy to use and so easy to implement that even an end user like you and me or a SMB can use it. But as a matter of fact, this tool is as important and as valuable in the enterprise as it is for the SMB. So what we are now doing to really leverage the 200 million active users we have is we go up. We move up the pyramid, and we are now getting into the enterprise. And there are multiple ways we are doing this. One of which is we are integrating. We are integrating into tools like Microsoft Outlook, so that within Outlook you can start a remote session. Within Outlook you can start a meeting. And this has been used quite a lot in the past. But it's also about partnering and be part of the ecosystem. And that is something we have now really accelerated over the last 6 to 7 months. And I give you a couple of examples. One of which is we will do an announcement actually this month with a company in California that does holographic lenses. And so what it will do is doctors, engineers will be able to use the holographic lens, and someone in the remote room or someone in another place will see exactly what the guy sees and will be able to guide him towards fixing a problem or doing the surgery. Other examples is integration into tools like Salesforce, Box, and this is just a subset of things that we are doing to really move up the stack in the enterprise. And if you think about it, all of the devices, all of the tools, all of the applications are connected with each other. And there will be more and more devices. We will build more and more applications for these devices. We will go into even building applications, small applets for non-IT devices like industrial equipment and so on. And this is where we are already in the middle of the IoT, Internet of Things. And I don't think there are a lot of companies out there that claim that they are in the IoT that have more than 1 billion devices under control, like we have today. So our future view is that wherever there's a device, we believe there will be TeamViewer on it. And maybe you also understand why we are extremely proud of having 1 billion devices already where TeamViewer is installed. But for us, it's just one step to really becoming also the leader in the IoT space. And I think if you look ahead 2, 3, 4 years from now, we will have billions of devices that we will control. And I think that's something that we are working very hard on, and that's where we will be there if we stand here in 2 to 3 years from now. So thank you.